Saturday, June 24th, 11:18 a.m. New York time. In this video, we're going to discuss a very important sector in the United States stock market. That's the financial service sector. And within that, I'm going to go over 8 of the industries in there. Because the last week, the central bank in the United States, aka the Federal Reserve, put pause on raising interest rates. And it's been rapidly raising interest rates since last year and prior. So let's see how the financial institutions are doing to determine the winners and losers. Be surprised when you see what's going on. So the first we're going to look at is asset management. Each chart, individual stocks, the current candle represents last week. So here first in the asset management, well-known company, BlackRock, Inc., BLK. Let's include it over the past 3 years. So now we're looking at the grid of a 3-year history. Each candle's a week. Yep. So for this year, here's the high. We're in a consolidation phase. Yep, we're below the high. So get a consolidation, breakdown, consolidation. First, how it's doing prior. Again, this is financial asset management. Next, Bank of New York Mellon, Bravo Kilo, same thing. Look at that. The high of the year and down here. We're not hitting the all-time new highs. Again, technology sector is. So we're really close to the lows of last year. Blackstone, Inc. Again, Blackstone, BlackRock, big relation is, had the same CEO. The guy that created one of them rolled over, started the other company, went back to the other one. Okay, so look, here's the high of the year, much closer to the lows of last year. Vesco, high, India, Victor, Zulu. Here's the high of the year. Here we are now. Look at that. Lower lows, lower highs. Much closer to the low of last year. We had that big trend up, and now look at them. T. Rowe Price, Tango, Romeo, Oscar, Victor. There's the high this year, much closer to the low. Huge consolidation. And State Street Corporation. Here's the high for the year, much closer to the low. Again, this industry, asset management inside the financial services, is very weak. Yep. They're not doing a good job, the leadership of these companies. All right, let's go on to the next. Look at the financial banks diversified. JP Morgan, much closer to the high of the year. And from the high of last year and the low of last year, we're about middle of the range. Better performance. Yep. FYI, whatever state you're in or U.S. territory, you might consider finding out your state, what bank they use to do deposits in. I recall years ago, New Jersey used to be JP Morgan, and then the governor had a falling out with them and left them. Also, your local municipality, your city, county, township, you might be considering or want to know, I would think you would, situation awareness to what financial institution they bank with. Get some insight. Bank of America, much closer to the low of the year. Hotel, Sierra Bravo Charlie, wow, big difference. Very close to the high of the year, almost doing a swing high. So again, here's the high of the year. Wow, outstanding. All these years, interesting. Be concerned. Whoever bought up here might be looking to sell now because they were suckers holding into a losing trade and they maybe never sold off. So when it goes up here, they might be selling and maybe new buyers would come and push it higher. Or again, might be people hedging. People that bought here hedger might be thinking, okay, they're going to sell here, so maybe they're buying puts. Bearish. Yeah, let's see how it plays out here. Yeah, nice reversal. Consolidation, breakout consolidation. Interesting here technically, it was a straight sell-off, panic selling. Red, 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 red. And then more the wiser consolidation, building momentum, building energy, broke up to the upside consolidation, breakout to the upside consolidation. So again, this was a good chart pattern that showed strength. It was building here with energy till it broke up to the upside instead of pure panic selling. Well, look at here. We already got panic selling on that red candle. Let's see what happens. Again, opportunity to trade bearish if you're bearish, versus opportunity to buy down here, wherever it comes into the panic selling. Wells Fargo, Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. Yep. About the middle of the range of the year. Again, very bad compared to last year. Look, already had a huge panic selling too. Look at that. Citigroup, big panic selling. Look at that small trading range compared to that prior year. Look at that prior year, huge trend down, then chop. Very tight consolidation. Royal Bank of Canada, Romeo Yankee, inside candle for the week, but big red. Much closer to the low of the year too. So that was the financial banks. Not as bad as what? The asset management. Okay, we could say fair, not great, not terrible. Oh, no, I think I personally would say it's still terrible. That was the financial banks. Let's go to the, that was financial banks diversified. Let's go to the financial banks regional. USB. Wow, terrible. Big sell-off already for the week here. Much closer to the low of the year. And priorly took out that swing low. Let's extend it even further. See what that was. Maybe it's a buying opportunity. There we go. Swing low all the way back from 2020. So this year took out the low of last year, took out the year prior, and did take out the year of 2020. What a terrible year for this bank. Okay, that's USB, Financial Banks Regional. So move that. Yep, looking for the opportunities to trade bearish on the retracements. Oops, extend this back. So HDB. Massive consolidation here. Okay, very inverse from what we've seen. Look at that big green body on the upside. Nice. Nice consolidation here. Impulse move up. Nice. Still below the high this year. Still below the high of the prior year, but better than many other ones. Tango Foxtrot Charlie. Trust Bank. Yeah. Lousy. Lousy. Here's the high for the year. Down here. Really sloppy. Wow. Way below there. Let's extend this back. See how much history we can see of this. They are doing terrible. Wow. Almost at the low from there. Papa November Charlie. Same thing. They're doing lousy. Here's the high for the year. Grinding down. India Bravo November. Wow. So here's the high for last year. And here we are now. We're going to meet a high this year and trending down. Big consolidation there. It's weak. Looks like distribution was going in there. Distribution means smart money selling. Well, let's include volume here. So we see if that's what was going on here. Zoom out. Again, consolidation. So you have that pump up, buying. Might be under distribution. Meaning, again, distribution means smart money selling. So few things to look here. Down here, huge volume. Volume spike, huge. Huge volume spikes often like to be retested. So we may have 100% retest down here. And then when you look here, this high, when I hover over it, you see the volume here on the left. So that red candle, volume over 21 million. Okay. It closed red, likely selling. Tiny little candle, and it closed almost in the middle of its range. Another little tiny candle, little tiny body, 13 million. Next one, 16 million, 14 million, 16 million, 21 million. Yep. A lot of volume up here, little tiny trading ranges, little tiny bodies, almost like dodgies. Here's like a dodgy. Yeah. And then this one, 21 million, big green candle, big wick on the top, small little body below 50%. Yeah, definitely. That means the body almost open to close the same distribution. And then all of a sudden, it couldn't be held up anymore, broke below it. They're holding it up here, but I would certainly be more on the bearish bias. Maybe I'll look to do the bear call spreads into next week. Oops. Foxtrot, India Tango Bravo, massive consolidation. Let's extend this out. Wow, terrible shape. Yep. So that was the financial bank regional. Again, not looking good. No, let's go on to the next. Financial capital markets. Morgan Stanley. Here we go for the high of the year. Huge consolidation most of the year, looking terrible. Charles Schwab, garbage. Wow, much closer to the low of the year. It's like still more panic selling. Goldman Sachs, you've got a huge red candle, panic selling. Here's the low for the year. There's the high for the year. Bank of Nova Scotia. Wow, lousy. Tight consolidation, big panic selling. Have a gap down here that has not got filled yet. Interactive Broker, inside candle for the week. Huge trading range. Strong trend up beginning of the year, and then panic selling. Still weak. But yeah, we made a new high this year versus the other ones. Raymond James Financial, here's the high for the year. Panic selling, consolidation, trend. It's as expected right here, midpoint. Big impulse move down, panic selling. And we came back, retested it. Or see what happens here, inside candle. So that often means when you have a big green candle and a small candle inside the top of a trend, might have a reversal. It's very suspicious, the location that occurs. Let me try to remember what that pattern is called. Is it something with the baby? I forgot the name of it. Certainly it's a bearish harmony. But I think it goes by another way. Either way, it's the location of it in that trend is bearish. And plus that yellow candle, solid body, equivalent to a red candle. Yeah, it means indecision. Yeah, bearish harmony. So that is the financial capital markets looking terrible. Let's go on to the next. Financial credit services. Little counting numbers here, understand. Maybe some of you are aware, maybe some of you are not in the know. Many of these big publicly traded companies give the board members, upper management, tens of millions of dollars bonuses a year, and tens of millions and hundreds of millions in salaries. That's less money that's going to expand the company, to improve its technology, the business model, to grow even more. So again, this might be the punishment they're getting here of their stocks doing terrible, because again, they're giving huge payouts to very few of their employees, the biggest shareholders, and karma. Are you getting better customer service or worse over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Has it gotten more automated, less customer service? Yeah. Look at Visa. So again, we're in financial credit services. That was a Visa high. That was Visa high this year. Huge spike, rejection, massive consolidation, looking bad here. MasterCard. There's a high for this year. Such sloppy trade here. Wow. PayPal. Wow. Look at that. All the way down here. There's a high for the year, and they're almost near lows. What's happened to them? Well, they didn't diversify enough. They could have done better over the years. Yep. Surprised they did not add in the business model to start doing a platform to let people invest in stocks. Similar to like Robinhood. Yeah. But remember, PayPal owns other companies too. PayPal owns Venmo. PayPal owns XOOM. They own different financial institutions. American Express. Wow, that's sloppy. Just pretty much big consolidation over the past few years. There's a high for this year. There's a low. Yep, rejected 175. Capital One Financial. Yep, there's a high for this year. Couldn't even make it up there, already selling off. Wow, way below this past year highs. Oh, need to update that later. Credit card. Discovery. There's a high for the year. Almost went up, retested it, and then did a bearish pin bar. Oh. Western Union. Who still uses these? Somebody apparently, but look at that. Almost near record lows for the past 3 years. MoneyGram. Wow, looks lousy. Alpha Lima Lima. Yankee Ally. Also garbage. Big panic selling. So that was credit card services. They're doing terrible too. Go on to the next. Financial Assurance Diversified. AIG. Do you remember them during the real estate bubble and they got built out? Yep. Here's the high for the year. Big impulse move down. Big consolidation. Midpoint. And we tested it. And it's struggling over here. Nice. Sun Life Financial. Sierra Lima Foxtrot. There's a high for the year. Coming up to retest. Hartford Financial. There's a high for the year. So again, big impulse move down. Midpoint. Couldn't even get up there yet. Struggling. Papa Foxtrot Golf. Principal Financial. Wow, massive consolidation down here. Still struggling down here. Not good. Golf, Sierra Hotel, Delta, Goosehead. Wow. There's a high for the year. Really small accumulation here. I'm sorry, distribution. That's what it looks like they're going here. Yeah. Well, we'll see if they pop above that high. Echo, Quebec Hotel. And terrible. Garbage. So that was the financial assurance diversified. It's also a loser industry within the financial sector. Let's go into the last two. Life assurance. MetLife. Wow. Almost near the low of the year. Garbage. Mike, Foxtrot, Charlie. Big impulse move down. Yeah, panic selling. Panic selling. Look for that opportunity to buy at the bottom, wherever that may be. See if it occurs down here. It's not like it's rational. It's just panic selling. Panic selling. So that's what we want to do. Look for that opportunity where it comes down to a demand zone and do a reversal like that. Buying opportunities. Prudential. Old school. Yep. Also massive consolidation here. Near the low of the high. Alpha Foxtrot Lima. Doing better than many other ones. Look at that. But still doing rejections over here at the 70. Lincoln National. Symbol Lima, November. Charlie near the lows. Garbage. There's another company that's been around for a long time. Papa Romeo India. America. Wow. There we had the high of the year. Retest broke above it. New high for the year. And panic selling. Excuse me. That was financial insurances. And the last one, mortgages. Mortgage. Rocket. Romeo Kilo Tango. Remember, this was an IPO a few years ago. Lousy. Near the lows of the IPO. Garbage. Losers. What a pump and dump that was. Another one. Uniform Whiskey. Mike. Charlie. Garbage. Papa Foxtrot Sierra India. Yeah, most of this time here. Yeah. Not impressive. Selling off. Whiskey Delta. Panic selling. Here's the high. Here's the high this year. Garbage. Hotel Tango Golf Charlie. Panic selling too. Wow, did almost 100% retracement. Big red candle. Huge panic selling. Almost 100% retracement. $15. And it got tired. And now the bears are in charge. Loser. Tree. Tango Romeo Echo Echo. Lending Tree. Been around a long time. Remember that all the way from childhood years. Their commercials. So look at that. Near the lows of the year. Garbage. Now, if you want to trade a stock ETF, which is an index, a basket of the big ones in here, let's change that out. If you don't want to do the single ones, you could do XOF. XOF. Let's see how that's going. Yep, it's looking garbage too. Yep. So overall, the financial sector and the industries inside of it are terrible. They're not benefiting from the higher interest rates necessarily. Well, if you look at their accounting, yeah, they're making more profits for lending out money based on lending out money at lower interest rates. But again, maybe they have a problem spending. And they're the ones that lobby Congress, and Congress does what they say. Yeah. Leadership from the financial institution, as well as Congress past and present. That's some sicko problems there.